Let's talk Canva Code and how you can use it in your next Rise project. So I'll shout out to Gina, who was one of my training magazine classes. This didn't work about a month and a half, 2 months ago, and she indicated that it does work now. So she sent me some notes on how she's using it. And so shout out to her because this is ever changing as Canva is. And if you're not trying things on a regular basis, you might miss them, which I did. So let me show you what you can do with Canva Code. And the applications of this are endless of what you could use. If you can dream up the interactivity and you don't have the programming skills to do it, Canva Code will help you. So I'll show you what I've done here. I created an accessibility contrast checker. So what I did is I typically use Web AIM, their contrast checker, when I'm creating either e-learning or documents that need to be accessible or content that needs to be accessible. And so I put in this prompt right here, you'll see in purple, this purple box, create a web contrast checker like the one on this site. And then I gave it the site for instructional designers to use when they are creating content that they want to be accessible. So what it did is it wrote all of the code, and it did take a bit. It took a few minutes for it to write all the code, and then the output is this accessibility contrast checker where I can put in my text color, my background color, what size text it is, and it'll check it based on accessibility standards. So it also gives me some additional items here. If I wanted to enhance this, I could tell it to save color combinations. I could include more educational information if I wanted to, things like that. So what I'm going to do next, and I'm going to show you how to create the code in a minute, but I do want to save this because I'm going to show you how to put this into a Rise project. So I'm going to go up to Use and Design, and my choices are a website, a presentation, a doc, or a whiteboard. Now, if you're putting this in Rise, I would put it in a presentation most likely, but if you were going to actually just create a quick website that then you could publish on Canva, you could actually do a website and go that route as well. But I'm going to do presentation for this particular application. And here is my contrast checker. So I can actually interact with it if I double click. So I can test some things. I can change the hex codes here, and I can make sure that it's working properly. When I'm happy with it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to Share, and I'm going to go down to these three dots, and I'm going to select those, and then I'm going to look for the one that says Embed. And when I click on Embed, this is actually something that changed just in a couple, literally in the last 4 days. I've got a couple of different options, but I'm going to go ahead and copy this Smart Embed link, which is right here. So I'm going to click on Copy, and then I'm going to go over and I'm going to bring over my Rise project for you. So here's just a blank Rise project. I do use the Mighty plugin, but you actually don't need the Mighty plugin for this particular project and this particular activity. So I'm just going to call this Canva Code, create a new lesson, and now I'm going to add content. I'm going to create lesson content. Then I'm going to go to Add Block, so right here. And then I'm going to go over to my multimedia, and I'm going to select the embed option. When I select the embed option, it's going to put in that block for me. Then I'm going to click on Edit. I'm going to select Change. I'm going to paste in my URL and click Enter. And now there is my accessibility contrast checker right in Rise. And when I want to interact with it, I just click on it, and it opens where I can interact with it. So, what would be an application of this? Potentially, if you are creating something for your learning team and you want them to have some sort of checklist that they go through before they turn over their project to check for accessibility, this would be great if it was already built in, and then all they had to do was delete that block when they were ready to publish it. And they wouldn't actually have to go in and you could put this in your template. They wouldn't have to go into other documents or other places to actually just do a quick contrast check on their on their project, but lots of other applications. So let me show you another one that you could use. And this is more on the learner perspective if you wanted to do something around interactivity. So I want to show you how to create this right in Canva from the Canva Code screen, since we sort of jumped ahead in the previous example. So this one, what I'm going to do is I'm on the Home tab. I could also go down to Canva AI and access it this way. But if I'm on the Home tab, I'm basically I have three choices across the top here. I have, hold on, it's not working. I've got your designs, I've got templates, and I've got Canva AI. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use Canva AI, and I'm going to say code for me down here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste in my prompt. So just to give you kind of a highlight, I'm going to create a branching scenario, create 3 customer scenarios with a call center agent where the agent has to deal with a difficult customer. And oops, I shouldn't have the word use in there. Let me get rid of that. And I said include a good, better, and best answer for each. The best answer should incorporate, and then you would include whatever you teach your call center agents to use. I'm going to say empathy and active listening, clear and professional communication, efficient problem solving, continuous improvement, and agent well-being. Those are kind of some criteria. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the purple arrow. What it's going to do is it can start writing the code for me. And it's hard to say how long this will take. It depends how extensive your prompt is and what you're asking it to do. In this case, it's probably going to take a couple of minutes. It's going to write the code for me. I am going to pause it so that you don't have to watch it write all of the code. But when I come back, I'll show you the output. So it's going to continue to do its work. I don't navigate away from this screen because it occasionally will actually stop the code. So I would stay on this screen until it's done and not navigate to go do other work while I'm waiting. So I'm going to pause it and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and here's what we've got. We've got welcome to call center training. We've got an angry customer with a billing issue, and I can sort of go down and see what that looks like. I can also see a technical difficulty customer and the good, better, best. When I click on these drop downs, I can also see the feedback and why it is good, better, and best. And then finally, the product defect customer, the conversation. Now, in this same experience, I can go to use in a design, and I could say website, actually put it on a website. Again, I'm going to say presentation. Actually, let's do a website this time. Let's just do a website. So it's going to give me a scrollable panel. And I can add additional sections if I wanted to, but I'm going to go ahead and I could publish this right here, and then I could just embed the website into Rise. I could certainly do that. Let's go ahead and embed it. And again, I'm going to copy the code, and then I'm going to go back to my Rise file that I have. And it's trying to open. Hold on. And now in this case, I'm going to go ahead and create another block, and I'm going to do another multimedia. And in this case, I'm going to click on that embed again, just like I did before. And I'm going to click on edit and then change. And I'm going to paste my code. And now when I click on my handling difficult customers and scenarios, it takes me to the web page. So I actually kind of like this a little bit better because I like the larger size of this. And I've got this scrolling web page basically that they can go through and review each of these. So really the options are endless when you think about what you can do with Canva Code. In particular, whether you are creating flip cards or a matching game or pretty much anything. you could certainly create the code in something like ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini or Copilot, but the code wouldn't necessarily create for you the page. You could use Replit to do something like this, but certainly if you already have Canva, you basically can have Canva build you this interaction, and then from there, modify it however you see fit. So I hope you enjoy this. I can't wait to see what you do with it. Have a little bit of fun. I think you will continue to see improvements to this particular functionality. It just came out a couple of months ago, a month ago. And so I think you'll continue to see improvements over the course of time as this becomes a more robust feature. So enjoy your day and have fun.